Brodes Media.
I think at this particular time, if you've been listening all week, you know my stance. I have so much confidence in this group. I have so much belief that they are the better team. And I have so much faith that they are going to operate the way they do when they go out there on a Sunday. They control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. They keep the possession in the hands of their offense for a nice 8-9 minute drive to force the opponent to be frustrated, waiting to get a chance to score points. Jalen has done a way better job of not turning the rock over. We have A.J. Brown back from an injury Wednesday, 10-minute weird practice thing. And like I said, we'll get audio from him. But ultimately, it's pretty simple. I just think the Eagles are a better team. And you're going to see that over the length of the game in its entirety. You're going to watch the offensive line and an inspired Lane Johnson who feels disrespected after being a second-team All-Pro instead of a first-team All-Pro. How do we know that? My man next to his locker has him and Sewell's stats taped next to his locker. You think he kicks ass normally? You think he is a sensational demon over at right tackle on a normal week? Wait until it's the playoffs, and then he's also emotionally pissed and fired up because Sewell gets the nod for the first team All-Pro instead of him. And actually, look at those damn numbers because it screams, yo, number 65 is a fucking monster and not a soul deserves to be ranked higher than him. He is the best in all of the position. He has been the best in a large sample size here, and he will continue to be the best. And guess what? The fact that the Packers have to look in his eyeballs, knowing that he's got so much hate in his eyes. Just wait. Just wait. The Eagles are a way stronger football team. Also factoring in that the Packers aren't healthy. So when everything is 100, the Eagles are better. Now you take away some key contributors from Green Bay's explosive plays in Watson and Alexander. I hate to break it to you. Xavier McKinney isn't going to save you. And it's funny because the Packers fans out there who feel like he will because he's an All-Pro, we have 6 of those. We have 6. You feel confident because McKinney got the nod and got the recognition, and there's people league-wide who realize that, hey, he can help create a turnover. He can snag the football. Once again, we have 6 of those. Saquon and Zach Bond both getting first-team nods. And then with your second team, AJ, we look at this as a ho-hum AJ year. It's been disappointing in the passing game. Our disappointment in the passing game gets people second team All-Pros. And not that he's done anything wrong in particular, but I'm just saying, imagine in a world where the passing game even was dialed up a notch from where it was. He'd be tearing it up even more so than he already is. So we had that. We had Mailata, both of our tackles. Where's football games won? I'm going to ask a question right now. When you study the game, and when all these great coaches pick it apart and get back down to the foundation of what went wrong or what went right, when they sort of dissect film, it all starts in the trenches. Mailata, Lane Johnson, Jalen Carter. All pros. You're going to witness all 3 of them take over the game. It is going to be chaotic for Green Bay to try and get a pass rush and to try and stop Jalen Carter. And if you do, which is rare, but if you do, the lanes are going to be spread wide open for Nolan Smith. You didn't see the real Nolan Smith the first time these two teams played in Brazil. We were still trying to get Bryce Huff's head out of his ass, and the problem is I don't think that's humanly possible. So he's a flat-out stiff. Now, you got a 2,000-yard rusher. You got an offensive line that as a five-man unit, there's not a defensive line that's excited for that challenge. And if you are, you're stupid because you're going to get mauled. But every single one of those men that have to see Landon Dickerson, that has to watch Mekhi Becton 5 feet away from him, they do realize that the test isn't going to be passed. You don't have the answers to the test. You can try whatever is in your bag of tricks. But I promise you it won't generate enough. Not over every single possession that this Eagles football team gets. Hey, you may get a sack. Congratulations. Fucking save it. Because it's not happening much. And we're going to see Jalen be a huge part with his legs. He passed concussion protocol. He spoke about how, he normally has a routine. And this was a weird situation for his said routine. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The real question becomes, how is the game called by Kellen Moore? Are we going to be witnessing different styles to what they run because they don't want to put Jalen in a position where Green Bay is going to want to make a hard tackle? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but anytime a quarterback leaves the pocket and doesn't slide or doesn't get out of bounds, yeah, here comes a linebacker knowing that's Jalen, knowing what he just went through. He's going to try and say, yo, dude, you don't do this. There's a reason why you don't do this, because you're about to get smacked. Are you going to want to put Jalen in those positions? I'm very torn on this because half of me says that's his skill set. That's what makes this offense hum. That's what makes this more of a threat, is because Jalen can pop off with a keeper. And now these rushers, they need to realize we have to stay contained. If you don't have to stay contained and you just have to focus on 26, Saquon probably can still beat you. But it completely changes the identity and the strengths of this unit. I want Jalen and this staff to coach as if nothing happened. Like, this is the other side of me now. Part of me goes, I don't want to get him hurt. The other side says, I want him to go out there and just play. And I lean towards that. Maybe it's 60-40. I lean towards, this is your playbook. This is who you've been all year. This is money time. This is winning time. This is the postseason. This isn't a random Week 12 game where you can just try and sneak by. Not trying to eke out anything. It's the playoffs. So go play. Play the way you play. Because when you do, this team's filthy. And it's on Jalen to be smart about it. Get out of bounds. Don't take that extra shot. If it's close, do you want him to lean on the side of caution in the first quarter compared to if it's the fourth quarter? What if it's a 4th and 4? It's a 3-point game. You're up. Jalen is in the pocket, realizes there's good coverage, so he escapes, and it's a collision course at the sticks. You either take the shot and get the first down, or you try and sneak out of bounds super quickly and maybe reach the ball over the yellow line, but you might not get it, and it's a 50-50 coin flip. In the fourth quarter, hey, let's keep this drive alive and let's milk the clock the same way we did against the Pittsburgh Steelers for 10 minutes. But what if it's the first quarter? In a 0-0 game, and you could just punt it away and have your all-time defense go out there and make a stand. Does it change your opinion if you're Kellen Moore based off of what time of the game it is? And if so, is that going to limit you? You have to rely on who you are. And we'll live with the consequences. You have to trust the players to make the right decision on the field. And that even applies to the kicking game. I don't want Nick Sirianni to coach scared because of Jake Elliott. I know you have to be smart and understand who he is this season, and he's not the same as the ice-cold killer he once was. If there's a moment, though, for him to kick a field goal and he decides not to because he doesn't have faith in the kicker. Now, if he decides to do it because it's 4th and 2 and you just want to be aggressive, fine. There's calculated times where that's okay, and it doesn't really mean it's less confidence in your kicker. It's just more about, listen, we're rolling right now. Our offense is humming. We've established something nice. I want to make a statement to Green Bay's defense. Then fine. But if this is one where it's like, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. We got to do something dumb and roll the dice with their offense on a 4th and 4 or a 4th and 5 because Jake is causing me concern. He's a professional kicker. If you need 3 points at the 44, for a 44-yard field goal, that's his job. I need points here. Send him out there. It's what it is. And knowing Nick Sirianni, knowing what his message has been to this team forever now, I do think he'll give Jake Elliott that push in the back. Yo, dude, let's go. First quarter, stall drives, you can get 3 points. It's a good confidence boost for the Birds. It's a good confidence boost for Jake Elliott. It's a 31-yard field goal. You're up 3-0 on your opening drive. And knowing how our first quarters have gone, then without a doubt, we take that. If you told me right now, first drive, they get the ball and get 3 out of it, it's a phenomenal start, knowing that a lot of times this season it was 3 and out. It was 3 and out. It was 3 and out. You wonder, what? And then here comes the run game. Here comes the adjustments. Here comes Vic Fangio. Here comes Jalen making timely throws that are elite. Bada bing, bada boom. The Eagles win by 20, and they're resting their starters in the 4th. That happens where they don't score in the 1st. And then by the 4th quarter, their starters don't even have to play, and they can get well-earned rest with load management mid-game throughout the week. Think about that turnaround throughout the 2nd and 3rd frame. I just hope you're aware out there, Green Bay. I hope you're aware.